this episode, I screw up my first ever interview by forgetting what I wanted to ask. I learned the history of the Lobeck 32 Ford Hot Rod, and I talked to a guy about how to install a Corvette engine in a Mazda. I stumble upon a unique twist to a 60s icon, and finally I learned what a Curtis and a Dolphin is. The most interesting part of the car show is the history of the car. I've been going to car shows since my childhood, and the one thing I've learned is that every car has a story, and the owners love sharing it. So for my first, yet amateurish, attempt at documenting the history of the owner and his car, I traveled to Valley View, Texas for the 5th annual Hot Rod Hayride Car Show. This small-town gem, located 60 miles north of Dallas, was the perfect backdrop for this car show. I got there early to watch the owners arrive when I noticed a 1965 Shelby GT Cobra. This presenting thing was a lot harder than I thought. My apologies for the cheese. We're out here at the car show in Valley View.
Beautiful downtown Valley View.
As it is. So, is this the only car that you have, or do you have other ones that you've restored?
I got 6 others.
6 others. Which ones you got?
I got a Corvette Grand Sport.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a Hot Rod Prius. I got a motorhome. I got a John Deere. But this and the Corvette are the only show cars I've got.
And is this, have you showed it like at the Street Rod Association or other car shows and whatnot?
Oh, I've been showing it since '06, but only in the surrounding towns.
Surrounding towns? Oh, okay. Have you won any awards with this car?
Every time I show it.
Every time you show it? Is there a competition going on today?
What do you mean a competition?
Are they going to do another like a best in show?
Oh, absolutely.
You feel pretty confident?
Right over there are tables and tables full of metal sculpture trophies that Riley Motorsports made for the occasion.
Wow.
Yeah, I always feel confident.
Oh, good.
If not, it's just another relaxing, sweaty, hot as hell day in the middle of Texas.
That is true. It is true. But it's Texas weather, man. You gotta love it.
Yeah, it's true.
We wouldn't live here if we were not proud Texans. That's for sure. So, all right. Well, I appreciate your time, sir.
You bet.
Thank you.
Barry Lobeck built a car just like this in 1970. Took it to the LA Roadster Show, and it was, one of the first with bigs and littles on it, and it was very well received. And then later he sold it to a friend of his named Steve Koonin. Steve Koonin kept the car for years, and he decided he wanted to start a magazine called Rodder's Journal.
Mm-hmm.
And if you've ever seen Rodder's Journal, it's not your typical hot rod magazine. To start that magazine, you needed 2 things. You needed $150,000, and you needed to have an advertiser for 5 years. That was my cousin who owns a company called Vinny Beer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the car was sold to a guy named Bruce Myers. He owns the Peterson Museum, LA, all the stuff out in LA.
Yeah.
And he painted it black, and he changed it. So Barry basically said, "Why'd you screw my car up?" And so Bruce said, "Because I paid $150,000 for it, I'll do whatever I want." And he said, "If you think that ugly red piece of crap was so pretty, build another one." So in 1990, this car was built.
Wow.
It was a rebirth of the original Lobeck Hot Rod.
Wow.
And that's the way I got it. So
it is a beautiful car.
But it's been around for a long time. It's been in almost 100 magazines. It's been on 5 major covers, which makes it the most photographed 32 Ford in history. You put a Corvette engine in a Mazda.
Yes, sir. Oh man, how did you manage that? It's something that you usually don't see every day.
And it's pretty straightforward, and if you guys look on the internet, there's a lot of people doing it now. There's a whole site devoted just to this. It's called norotors.com. You guys should check it out. It's a lot of good people on there. They'll help you through the swap. If you got any questions, they'll answer it. But all in all, it's a pretty straightforward swap. It really
Wow.
is.
Cool. Is this the first time you've shown it?
Yes, sir. This is the first time. It took me about 6 weeks to get it all put together.
Yeah.
I've had it put together for about a month, and there's still a lot of fine detailing I need to do to really get it show ready. But I figured, what the heck, get in the show and see what we can do.
It looks great, man, I tell you.
Another old vehicle I'm going to do something with too. So.
Yeah. So you restored this yourself, huh?
Yes, I did.
That is
Took
fantastic.
about 3 years.
3 years? Wow.
And then you're never done, of course. You work on it. In 3 more years, there'll be twice as much stuff on it.
Oh man, I tell you.
So you're never done.
I tell you, this is, wow. You got a little Batman too. So yeah, it just totally makes it right there.
I guess I got to put my Batman out. I didn't have my Batman out.
After Valley View, I headed to Frisco, Texas for the first annual Texas Dream Cruise and instantly regretted leaving Valley View. The cars were great, of course, but you could tell the organizers were there for the money and not the cars. Either way, I saw a pair of cars that got my interest and had to find out more about them.
The 1962 Dolphin was made in San Diego. 3 buddies got together and made a little car company called Dolphin Engineering, and they built several race cars, open wheel cars, and they built 15 sports cars like this, and pretty much they built them to the order of the guy that was buying it. Somebody came along and wanted to buy one of their cars, and he would put the motor that he wanted in it.
Wow.
And so this one, the guys that didn't have a lot of money put Fiat motors. The guys that had a little more money put the Ford 4-cylinder.
Wow.
And so the car weighs 950 pounds.
That's it?
That's it.
Wow. That's amazing.
It's very quick. Doesn't have a lot of torque and pull with the engine because it's right at 100 horsepower.
Wow.
But it's a high momentum car. Corner fast, keep up your speed. As opposed to the other car, the Curtis behind you, which was built in '54. It's got a big Hemi motor in it. Lots of torque, lots of horsepower, no brakes.
No brakes?
It's got drum brakes on the 4 corners.
Okay.
So it'll outrun the brakes in a hurry.
I bet it would.
And it was built in Los Angeles. And this one's in San Diego.
Wow.
So they're true American specials.
They are. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
After walking around for a while and trying to find owners to talk to, which unfortunately I was only able to talk to the one, I came across this truck and thought it was pretty cool. Well, that's it for this episode. It's obvious that I'm not a talented presenter, but in time, maybe I'll get better. And yes, I do have a day job. I just want to extend my thanks to the owners for their time, and a big thanks to you for watching. In the next episode, I'll be at the July 4th McKinney Car Show, followed by the Wiley Bluegrass Festival Car Show. By the way, if you're someone who is in need of presenting experience and would like to work for free, send me a message. Thanks again for watching. Bye for now.